In today's video, we are looking at finding the zeros and then sketching the graph of a polynomial. I think by now you know that. Let's recall that is called a quadratic expression. Quadratic because of that square. The first term, the variable there is squared. Now here we call it a polynomial. It's a cubic polynomial actually. Now for us to find the zeros, we are looking at the solution for the function. So to find the zeros, what we do, let us rewrite the polynomial x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x. Now what we are going to do, since we have three terms, we factor out x from all the three terms. So if we can do that, then the first term is going to be reduced by 1 to be x squared minus 3. The square there will be reduced by 1, then we have only x, and then minus 4. We factor out the x. After that, what we now have inside the brackets, this is a quadratic expression like what we have there. Now we have to factorize that expression. Now factorizing that, let's write two brackets like that. And then in front here, in front of x squared, there is a 1, although we don't show it. Now what you do, you say 1 times negative 4, and then you get negative 4. Now we have to find two numbers which are factors of 4. 1, 2, and then 4 itself. These are the factors of 4. Because we have a negative 4 here, after multiplying 1 times negative 4, we get negative 4. So from these factors of 4, which two numbers or which two factors can we multiply to give us negative 4? But when we add those two factors, we should get negative 3. So those two factors should be negative 4 and positive 1. So what we now do, we write here, let me do this. We write x here and also x here. Since x squared, we should have two x's. Then since we have positive 1 and negative 4, remember positive 1 times negative 4 gives us negative 4. Positive 1 plus negative 4 gives us negative 3. So we now write positive 1, this positive 1 here, and then negative 4, that negative 4 there. Then from there, we can now equate these two. Remember, we are finding the zeros, meaning we have to equate this equal to 0. The solutions that we are going to get here, those are the zeros of the polynomial. So we now write, for this to be true, to be equal to 0, unless x is equal to 0 or x, this bracket here, x plus 1 is equal to 0, or x minus 4 is equal to 0. Since here x is equal to 0, then here we move this positive 1 to go to the other side. Then you're going to have x is equal to -1, or we also move the -4, then it becomes positive. So the solutions here, or the zeros, we now write zeros are x equals to 0, that is the first one, and then -1, and then +4. So these are the zeros of our polynomial here. Now, since we have our zeros, we can now go ahead and sketch the graph. Now let's sketch the graph. To sketch, it means we have to draw our Cartesian plane like that. This is our x and this is our y. Now pay attention here carefully. We are sketching, we are not drawing. Sketching means we have to show only the important points. In our case, we want to show these zeros. So what you do, remember these are x values. Our first x is equal to 0. We let's put a dot like that. That is where our 0, 0 is. The second x value is -1. So here we use common sense. We cannot write our -1 this side. This is the positive side. So -1 should be this side. So that is our -1. And remember, this sketch is not to scale. The third 0 is at 4. X equals to 4. So we cannot write our 4 here. Let's write our 4 somewhere here, a bit far from 0. Maybe let me indicate it this way, like that. But don't forget that the main points here is this 4, the 0, and the -1. Those are the most important points. Now that we are done plotting the points, what we have to do, we now have to draw our graph passing through those 3 points. Now let's come back where we started. Look at our polynomial. The first term, the value in front there, we know it's 1, and it's positive. It's not negative, it's positive. So because it's positive, then I think I need to do it this side. Assuming we have our Cartesian plane like that. Let me write like this: ax cubed plus bx squared, and then plus c. Yeah, cx, and then plus d. Supposed to be like that. We don't need to include the d. Let's just end here at c. Cx. Now the thing is, if the a value is positive for a polynomial, it means it starts from here, it goes like this, like that. That is if it's positive. But if it's negative, remember my focus here is on the first term. The first one, the a value is positive, therefore it goes like this. Let me indicate the arrow there. That is if it's positive. But if it's negative, it goes something like this. Something like that. So in our case, our x, which is 1, in the number in front of x cube is 1, which is positive. Therefore, our polynomial should go like this. And passing through our point, it should cross at that point. It goes up and then it turns. And then it crosses again at that point. It goes downwards and then it goes up again, crossing at that point. So we have to indicate that this is the graph of f of x equals to x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x. So if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe for more videos.